The Mutant Hunter by Tobias Roote. Narrated by Edward James Beesley. Cover design by selfpubbookscovers.com/Veerkracht. Editor Louise Kinch. Everything you need to know about the Clone Worlds universe. The following is an introduction to the universe of the Clone Worlds series. If you would like to skip this section now, it's repeated at the end of the book. Clone Worlds existed in a galaxy where humanity had been rebirthed for at least the third time in its long history. For most of humanity, their previous existence had been long forgotten, buried in the distant past. The only known previous memories were carried by a banned cult called the Dispersalistas. So named, it was said, due to their participation in the fabled Great Dispersal of mankind, although in truth, the cult's origins were still largely unknown. Their mantra was such that simply spreading the word created dissension wherever it was preached. Banned by the Empire and treated by their authoritarian regime with extreme prejudice, the cult members and their leaders were hunted down wherever they were discovered. This led to the Dispersalistas becoming a clandestine organization simply to survive. The competition for control over the seething mass of humanity was cutthroat, with the corporations hell-bent on controlling it all. Many of the planets colonized were theirs, but they were continually striving for more territory and constantly expanding their reach. When there was insufficient labor, they cloned new humans, mutating them to create better adapted workers. This backfired when the genetic splices created unexpected variances in second and third generation offspring, supposedly resulting in further problems when viruses allegedly originating from the mutant humans created a pandemic across many of the planets. In an attempt to cull them, the corporations fell foul of public sentiment and a war ensued over protecting their rights. The Clone Wars proved hugely damaging to the corporations' hold on many of the planets and their workforces. They eventually negotiated a truce with the newly formed Fabrillo Worlds Alliance, FWA, which ended up representing those planets opposed to the corporations' hold. They also forced the corporations to recognize mutants as individuals and thus allow them basic human rights. Whilst many people continued to be afraid of the threat the mutants represented, they nonetheless forced the corporations to accept responsibility for their continued care. Colonies of unstable mutants were monitored by a new independent body, the Alliance of Worlds, AWA.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?